Now at 5:30 on WKYT this morning in Louisville, investigators now know that a house fire was started intentionally. That fire has killed 4 people. School board members in Fayette County will be voting tonight on whether to put more than $500,000 toward fixing radon problems in several schools. And friends and family of a woman who died at Raven Run in Lexington are keeping her memory alive. That and more coming up on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you, and we welcome you in on this Monday, and welcome to spring. You know, it started yesterday, and we've had a nice start, at least some sunshine. It's been a little bit on the cool side as well. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris, who's keeping track of things for us, looking for a little warmer weather as we go along, huh?
Yeah, I think looking for it is a good call, because we're not going to be seeing it today. We're actually getting off into Tuesday and off into Wednesday. That is your best bet to actually see those temperatures really skyrocket. We're at 32 now in Corbin. 30 degrees Mountain Parkway, Frankfort, Lexington, still holding on to the 30s. So it's just one of those mornings. It's a chilly start. We head into the afternoon right around 50 degrees. Now, 50 degrees under sunshine isn't all that bad, but remember, 50 degrees falls at the 4 to 5 p.m. time frame. So before that, we're going to be there in the 40s through much of your day. So just keep in mind, you'll need a light coat or a long sleeve shirt. That's probably your best bet. Once we hit the day tomorrow, that's when things start to really increase with temperatures. I'll show you that coming up in your full forecast just about 10 minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then. In the news in Louisville, police say 4 people were found dead in a home after a massive fire in Jeffersontown. Investigators now know that the house was intentionally set on fire. WKYT's Mark Barber is joining us from our live desk now with more on the awful fire. Mark.
Good morning, Bill. Several viewers are telling us this morning that the woman who was found dead in the house grew up in Nicholasville. The Reverend at her church says the bodies of her husband and their 2 children were also found in the home. The coroner has not released their names yet. Investigators say the fire was a dead giveaway for arson because they found multiple fires on multiple floors. Firefighters found the 4 bodies after they started putting out the smoke and the flames that were tearing through the home in southeast Louisville yesterday afternoon. Police do not know whether the 4 people were killed before the fire started or whether they died in the fire. Neighbors are struggling to understand why this happened.
Just the thought that, you know, yesterday they were a normal family, and then today for this to happen, I mean, our hearts go out to, and our prayers go out to the mother and the rest of their family.
An extended family member says their grieving family does not think the 4 people were killed by the fire. While investigators are still searching for a motive, the family says that the wife had just filed for divorce. Investigators do not know why the fire was started intentionally or who started it. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Well, an awful fire, an awful revelation that apparently is arson. Thank you very much for the report. Tonight, Fayette County school board members are expected to vote on fixing the radon problems in several schools throughout the county. Earlier this month, testing showed that 9 schools have high levels of radon. WKYT's Mike Byer is joining us live with a closer look at the vote later today. Mike?
Good morning, Bill. Many concerned parents and community members are expected to be on hand tonight when the Fayette County School Board holds a meeting at 6:30. This is where they're going to vote on allocating money to fix the radon problem. Now, the problem was discovered back in February, and it was discovered at 9 schools. Now, these schools include Bryan Station High School, Booker T. Washington Intermediate Academy, and Harrison Elementary, Leestown Middle School, Lexington Traditional Magnet Schools, Mary Todd Elementary, Russell Cave Elementary, Scapa, and Sandersville Elementary. Now, radon is an invisible, odorless radioactive gas that comes from the natural decay of uranium that is found in soils. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency lists it as the 2nd leading cause of lung cancer. Now, schools in Kentucky are not mandated to test radon levels, but after finding a higher radon level a year and a half ago at Locust Trace, Fayette County Public Schools decided to test the radon levels at every school and also set their standard the same as the EPA's residential exposure level, which is a 4. Now, all 9 schools have tested at a 4 or higher. School board needs to sign off on $570,000 to fix the radon levels. Now the meeting will be held right here at the Fayette County Public Schools headquarters, and it is open to the public. By the looks of a couple hashtags that are making their way around, which say shut it down and no justice, no peace, it seems like there's going to be a lot of people on hand for this meeting tonight that starts at 6:30. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Well, understandably, a lot of upset parents who want some answers. Thank you very much for the report. Friends and family of a woman who died Saturday at Raven Run in Lexington are keeping her memory alive. 22-year-old Mary Catherine Stewart, known as Katie, worked at a Crank and Boom ice cream shop, a local shop here in Lexington. The store's owner says Stewart was full of ideas and potential, so she held a fundraiser where donations were welcome in exchange for Stewart's favorite flavors. All of the proceeds went to the family.
I know we can't bring her back, but if we can honor her and celebrate her and help her family out, I think that's the best we can do.
Officials say that Stewart was hiking at the Raven Run Nature Sanctuary. They say she fell off of a cliff to her death on Saturday afternoon. Rescuers pulled her body from the water below hours after she fell. She was a student at Transylvania University. And now Raven Run has reopened since that accident. It was back open yesterday morning. They also returned to their normal hours. Lexington firefighters were back out at the Kentucky River near the park searching for the equipment they lost while they were recovering Stewart's body. Firefighters say the boat they were transporting her body in capsized. The equipment that was in the boat is still missing.
The equipment that we're searching for is just regular fire department equipment. It's rope bags for rappelling and some medical equipment.
Firefighters are having trouble narrowing down the search area. The department is still trying to figure out why the boat capsized. Today, the State House is expected to vote on a bill that would make cancer a line of death duty for Kentucky firefighters. Senate Bill number 195 has already passed the state Senate. The bill also calls for the state to give $80,000 for families of firefighters who die of cancer. Firefighters say they have a higher cancer risk because of what they're exposed to when fighting fires. The Kentucky Firefighters Association says the House convenes at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and they plan to have firefighters at the State House when the bill is read. If it passes, it next goes to Governor Bevin for his signature. In western Kentucky, state police are investigating a deadly officer-involved shooting. Troopers say they were chasing an ATV in Hopkins County when it flipped and the driver started shooting at a trooper. The trooper shot back, killing the man on the ATV. The driver is identified as 23-year-old Dylan Whitaker from White Plains. His autopsy is scheduled for sometime today. In Letcher County, officials say water from a silt pond is causing Pine Creek there to turn red. An employee with Appalachian Voices and Headwaters tested the water Saturday. He says he noticed dead fish and turtles around the creek, and the test showed that the water was acidic and had high levels of iron from a coal mine in it. An official with Hardshell Tipples, a coal mining company, says a leak in a silt pond is leaking iron into the creek and giving it that red color.
The deep mines gathers water. It's empty. You know, the coal is gone, and so it builds up water like an underground aquifer, and so they accidentally opened it up and the water came out in a big whoosh.
Hardshell Tipple says they are trying to fix the leak, and they say that the leak is a one-time problem. Well, this week, search teams are hoping to get back into the Ohio River and look for that car that plunged off of a bridge. Police say the car crashed this last Tuesday, and it went off the I-275 bridge between Campbell County and Cincinnati. River conditions have been rough, which is why the Boone County Water Rescue Team says they can't attempt a recovery just yet. They say it could be tomorrow or even Wednesday before divers can get back in the water. And when they do, the rescue captain says they will try to recover whoever was in the car and then try to get the car itself out. And on that same bridge, police are investigating another deadly crash. State transportation leaders say the eastbound lanes of Interstate 275 were closed for a few hours overnight because of a crash. The crash happened just before 10 last night. Police say one person died in that crash. Our time this morning is 5:39. High school basketball fans filled Rupp Arena to watch the Dunbar Dunbar Bulldogs play for and win the state title. It's a special time for fans. It's the first time Dunbar has ever won a state title, and it was their first appearance at the state since 1997 in the big game. The Bulldogs made it past the Doss Dragons out of Louisville to get the win. The title means a lot, not only to players out on the court this season, but for the players who have worn the Bulldog uniform in the past as well. That includes one former player who went on to play at UK and to win a national title.
I'm always proud to be a Bulldog, especially today. Yeah, this is, I feel so silly even crying about it right now, but it's been 20 years since we started the program back. To be part of those first few teams and to get so close. And we were down there. I mean, we had to take this picture that Dawson's having to take right now. That's no fun.
It's all right, Cameron, let the tears flow. More than 10,000 people packed her up to watch the Bulldogs win their first state title. Congratulations, certainly. And the UK women's basketball team is still rolling in the NCAA tournament. Kentucky will face off with Oklahoma today. The Cats have a home court advantage, and they'll be playing at Memorial Coliseum. Tip-off is set for 6:30. It'll be on ESPN2. And keep up with the Cats on our website, WKYT.com, or download the WKYT News app for scores and highlights on your phone. And we all know what happened with the men over the weekend, but what a season it was, and it won't be long before the next one, right? 5:41 is the time. Let's check live drive traffic this morning and see what is going on. For one thing, we know that spring break is over and UK students return in Lexington today and at EKU and Richmond as well. So anticipate higher traffic volumes as folks are getting back in the swing of things and those last weeks of classes for this spring semester. Looking at a lot of green on there this morning with no reports of any major problems at the moment. Let's make it a good ride in. Buckle up and make it a safe one. A lot more news coming up for you on WKYT. In Washington, D.C., people are celebrating, not for a basketball team, but for two baby bald eagles who have now hatched into this wide world. That's ahead on WKYT this morning.
We have the 30s outside this morning. We get into the afternoon and we'll finally clip the 50s in the forecast after a chilly weekend, but it gets much better than that as we go throughout your work week. I'll have that in your forecast coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Nothing really going on this morning and really no cloud cover out and about. We have a few clouds here and there, but that's about it. Some of these clouds trying to dive in here from the west and from the northwest, but nothing to come along with those. No rain, nothing like that. So when you're looking outside, yeah, it's a clear start to the day for the most part. So it's a good looking day, and we're going to have that going throughout the next few days. There's really no change in the way it looks outside the next few days. It's the way it feels. Let's talk about that. 28 degrees now in Somerset and Pulaski County. And that goes for Monticello. That goes for any place around the Cumberland region. Just know it is going to be a really cold start this morning. As you're walking out the door, you'll be below freezing. Right around freezing here in Lexington, and that goes for Jackson too. Moorhead sitting there at 30 degrees. Winchester, Mount Sterling, Owingsville, and then make your way down the Mountain Parkway up into Powell Wolf, and then head off toward Montgomery County. We're looking just fine, but it is chilly. We go through your day, 44 there by noontime, definitely not out on the patio type of weather there for lunch. 50 degrees by the afternoon. It's still cool, but it is better, because we were in the 40s this weekend. Most of us stay mostly dry throughout your weekend, but we did even have some flakes to the north and down toward the southwest, but those are now moved on out, so we are good to go throughout the rest of the next couple of days. So here's the breakdown. Let's go through your day of tomorrow. Now tomorrow will actually be in the 60s, so we're jumping ahead and we'll be well above average there tomorrow, and not just tomorrow, but off into your Thursday too, starting off upper 40s, lower 50s, and finishing off, look at that, maybe even a 70-degree showing up there in southern Kentucky. Most of us stay there in the 60s on Wednesday. But that is a lot of that warm air out ahead of our next system. And our next system will give us that opportunity there on Thursday to see showers and thunderstorms. They'll be likely as they roll on through. So remember, we're going to be in the 50s today, but once we hit the next couple of days, they actually feel really nice. Your best feeling day will be on Wednesday, and then that's ahead of that rain that moves on in there on Thursday. After that, your next best chance of rain is going to be on Sunday. So really Thursday and Sunday, your better opportunities to pick up some rain. The best days in the forecast will be tomorrow and off toward Wednesday. But for the most part, I mean, there's only 2 days in the forecast below average. That's going to be today and Friday as that front moves on through. It's not a bad forecast. We'll take it for the first full week of spring. Yeah. It has been way worse. We've actually had some snow in the first full week of spring, so we're doing all right.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Notice all the blooming out there
Yes.
right now. You know,
yes,
it's,
these trees
really
are popping.
neat. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're looking good.
A little pollen here and there as
Yeah,
well,
here and
right?
there.
And there's some other things springing. Then there were two. Both baby bald eagles have now hatched from their shells at the U.S. National Arboretum in Washington. Their debuts were captured live on the D.C. Eagle Cam. And bald eagle mom and dad, also known, by the way, as the president and the first lady, nested in a tulip poplar tree at the Arboretum back in 2014. The American Eagle Foundation said it was the first time in almost 70 years that a bald eagle nested in that location. The second eaglet that hatched yesterday morning will be the third to be raised at this location. He kindly pecked his way out of there at about 3 o'clock in the morning, I think. But it's just so neat, you know, our national symbol, and there in Washington, D.C. And so a lot of folks have been watching that on the webcam. Time this morning is 5:48, bright and early on your Monday. Hope it's going to be a good day for you ahead. Coming up, some of the stories making news at this hour. Also, we'll be checking traffic and some health news and a whole lot more here on WKYT. Good morning. Time to rise and shine on your Monday as we get this first week of spring off and rolling. It's 5:52 now. Here's a look at some of the stories we're working on this morning. Friends and family of 22-year-old Mary Catherine are keeping her memory alive this morning. Mary Catherine Stewart, she died over the weekend after falling off of a cliff at Raven Run. She worked at Crank and Boom, a local ice cream shop here in Lexington. The store's owner held a fundraiser, all of the proceeds going to her family. Today, the State House is expected to vote on a bill that would make cancer a line-of-duty death for Kentucky firefighters. Senate Bill 195 has already passed the state Senate. If it passes the House later today, it then goes to Governor Bevin for his signature. Topping some national headlines this morning, President Obama will be meeting with Cuban leader Raul Castro today as he continues his historic visit to the island nation. The president touched down in Havana yesterday along with the First Lady and their two daughters. President Obama is the first U.S. president to visit Cuba in 88 years. He will also catch an exhibition baseball game between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Cuban national team. There's some new data out treating appendicitis, and there is a health warning for anyone who is a vegan. Terry Okita has some of the day's top health stories.
Researchers at the Mayo Clinic warn vegans may be low on certain important nutrients. Doctors say people who eat a strict plant-based diet, excluding all meat, dairy, fish, and eggs, should have their levels of B12, iron, calcium, and other nutrients closely monitored. A team of international researchers finds antibiotics can reduce the number of appendectomies. Their study shows antibiotics for mild appendicitis cut surgeries by 92%. But that also resulted in a higher rate of recurrences. And a new treatment for stroke victims may help prevent swelling of the brain and death. Researchers in New England found patients 70 and under who took a drug called glibenclamide were 10 times less likely to die of brain swelling. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Terry Okita, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Now 5:54 here on WKYT. Let's check live drive traffic again this morning, see what is going on. It's a pretty good ride in. We have no reports of any major problems at the moment. Closer look in and you see the same thing. No reports of major issues. Just a little bit slow already, it looks like, this morning on Richmond Road, as is usually the case right there in the area of the Circle as you're getting on. And also, it looks like right now, what is that we're looking at? I-6 at Winchester Road, US 60 is slowed for some reason. We'll check that out just in a moment. Between Lexington and Winchester right now, slow down on US 60. Right now on WKYT.com, we're working to get new information and nail down some possible connections to the bluegrass, to those killed in a suspicious fire in Louisville. Also, how many are remembering a Lexington student who went to school at Transy, who also worked at a local ice cream shop. Katie Stewart died after falling while hiking at Raven Run Sanctuary over the weekend. Also trending this morning, gasoline prices rising. They've jumped 17 cents over the last 2 weeks and are now back above the $2 mark on average. We take a look at what's behind the jump and what to expect in those months leading up to the summer driving season. Speaking of, if you're looking for some thrills as you plan your summer getaway, some new roller coasters are about ready to go in this part of the country. Cedar Point will have its coaster ready by May, and the Progressive missing out a new coaster at Dollywood as well. It's going to be a day of celebration at Dunbar High School, who won the boys' Sweet 16 title at the state tournament yesterday. They defeated Doss 61-52 in the championship game before a big crowd at Rupp Arena. Congratulations to the Dunbar team. Kentucky.com looks back at the season's end for the UK Wildcat men and the continuing hopes for the women. Also, Starbucks is there's a lawsuit against Starbucks claiming that the coffee chain routinely underfills its lattes. Starbucks says that lawsuit is without merit. CBS This Morning is coming up at 7 with your eye opener, and we'll have local updates. Hey, join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest news anytime, WKYT.com.
And things are looking just fine outside. Now, we are chilly. We're in the 20s and 30s as you walk outside this morning. So just know it's going to be freezing, literally, as you step out the door. Once we hit noontime, right around 44, which is pretty much where we were this weekend in the mid-40s. So you know we have another 4 to 5 hours of heating left to go, and we'll be settling in around 50 degrees. Still cool, but it's getting better. Next few days will look great, and they will feel fantastic. You're about to take off. Have a great Monday. If not, stick with us. We have another hour of WKYT News that we'll be talking about more news, weather, and sports.